What's up YouTube, and welcome to Homebrew Subaru. As you can see from the thumbnail and sitting in behind me, I bought a fishing kayak. And well, for those of you that have never been here before, this is like the first time I've shaved in 10 years, so yeah, I'm still getting used to it. This is the Pelican Catch Mode 110. I've had my eye on this kayak from at least last summer and kind of kept it in my shopping lists, waiting for one to go on sale, and sure enough, during the Black Friday sales, over 2 months ago, so I've had this for quite a while, I was able to save just about $200 on this kayak. Now, I am going to say this is more of an entry-level kayak. You can certainly get them for a few $100s cheaper than this, but you can also pay 2 to 3 times more than what I did. What makes a big difference on a fishing kayak is whether or not it actually has a pedal drive, and I opted to not go with a pedal drive for my first fishing kayak just to make sure it's something I want to get into. And at the same time, I've kind of wanted to actually use a paddle, be a little bit more active when I'm out camping or just deciding to go out onto the water. Now, this fishing kayak does come with a few more accessories than what you're seeing in front of you now, so I'll kind of dig those out, get them loaded on, and we'll go over everything. Now, starting right here in the front, you get these very durable ergonomic handles. They are so strong that I've lifted the almost 80 pounds of weight with one of the side handles. Don't really advise doing that, as these rivets aren't really designed to hold that kind of weight, and you could risk bending the rivets or even loosening them. But very strong and very easy to grab a hold of and have like a non-slip grip to them. Now, a little further in, you get one of these stay dry mesh covers with a little strap in here. Everything's held by a bungee really well, and it's all adjustable. You can take it off and remove it, no problem. So if you want to use this for some other storage space, or if you want to load something in and then cover it over and strap it down, you've got that option to do so. I really like this thing. The top of it here will actually, you can guide your paddle into there and have it rest over along the side, but I'll show you that in a little bit. Another thing in the front here is you get these little rod tip holders. So I just kind of sat one of my rods in there just to kind of give you an idea, so it's not like flinging out all over here or going all over the place and getting caught on your stuff. And kind of just rest it in there and they'll hold it in place, and there's one on either side. Just ahead of the seating area, we got a little bit more going on. Obviously the foot rests on either side, and to adjust those, you kind of just pull out on them like that, adjust them to where you need them to be, and lock them back in place. The actual surface of the pedal has a nice corrugated plastic to it that would, help your foot from slipping off there. The actual standing area of the kayak, because you can actually stand in this one, has a nice rubber foam mat that's glued directly to the surface of the kayak. Could definitely prevent somebody from, a slip if they start to lose balance and there is water inside the kayak. Another thing is there's scupper holes, 4 of them, 2 up in the front, 2 in the rear, that's kind of channeled that water, if it gets into the kayak, will make its way down there. They also provide the scupper plugs, so that if you have a little bit too much weight, or you're making your way on the water a little too quickly, you can actually plug them off so it'll keep water from coming in. On either side, we've got T-bar mounts, so we can load all types of accessories, from camera mounts to drink holders to rod holders. You got to get the idea of that. We'll be accessorizing this thing a little bit later, but behind the one on the right side, we've got our first rod holder. So we've got one forward facing, right-handed, kind of sit it there if you need to change out some tackle, or rest your rod so you can actually get a fish off the line or whatever. And then we got these what they're basically drink holders, so they kind of got a little sloped area, little padding, and a little bungee to actually hold your mug or whatever, bottle, and they get large enough that you can put something quite big in there. Moving on to the seating area, the seat is something a lot of people rave about. They just absolutely love it. It's very comfortable and very adjustable, and because I've gone through a lot of reviews on YouTube about this kayak before purchasing it, it's a YouTuber down in Florida, Zoffinger, who has helped Pelican design the seat to make it fold down on itself, give it this kind of bench seating area, which picks you up quite a few inches off of the water, and it's got that same kind of rubber mat glued to the backside here. little spots to hold some of your tools and little storage in the back side of it. Put your Plano box maybe. Some spaces on the side and lots underneath. But from what I can tell, there's a couple things that people like to mod on these. Is they'd have this play that goes side to side. So a lot of people like to put these furniture feet on the pegs here to kind of stop that from happening. And a lot of people like to actually raise it up a little bit higher, which I think I may end up doing. I have, you know, quite a bit of this small pipe. It's like a 3/4 pipe, and I can obviously weld it and repaint it. So I was kind of thinking of picking it up to this point because it does sit quite low. Not that I would want to be on top here paddling all the time, just being a little bit too top heavy obviously makes things a little bit more unstable. So just ahead of the seat, you got those same handles, very rigid and strong. And then along the sides here, you've got these paddle holders, so you can kind of rest your paddle in here and then go over top it with the bungee and hold it in place. We'll show you that in a bit. And coming into the rear area, there's rod holders on either side, and they're pointed in a rearward direction, which I'm probably going to utilize for trolling when I'm just out exploring and I want to leave a line out in behind the kayak. I'm pretty sure that should hold on to a rod. The storage area has a drain right in the center, and so does the seating area. There's channeling going off to the drain, and they give you a nice bungee here to hold down some of your gear if you want to use that. So they do give you a drain right here at the end so if water gets inside the hull, you can just basically unlatch it and pour out anything that might be inside. And then because this is the catch mode, this section here is interchangeable. So I opted to go with this skeg, which kind of you know, gives you a much straighter line in the water, obviously. And it's designed to, you know, pop loose if it hits something underneath. It can't really break off, and then you can just kind of get it back in place and lock it back down. But this is changeable. You can put a transom mount on here so that you can actually put a small trolling motor on this kayak and, you know, use a trolling motor to actually power yourself through the water. So this is just to give you an example of what you can actually get in behind the seat. This is my full-size cooler and my large tackle bag. And I mean, there's like extra room in here. The kayak will hold up to 375 pounds and, you know, around the 200-pound mark myself, or a little bit over. That leaves me a ton of weight I can pile into this kayak. If you are planning on purchasing the Catch Mode 110, one thing you do need to keep in mind is it does not come with the paddle. So I have gone ahead and purchased the Pelican Catch fiberglass handle paddle. The other option is aluminum. The aluminum is almost half the price of this paddle. I did wait long enough to get this one on sale. I saved, you know, 15% on it, so it wasn't a lot, but it was still something. And I've wanted a lightweight paddle just so I can, you know, spend a little bit more time on the water and not have to, you know, work myself any bit harder than I have to. Another thing is, this was the longest paddle, and that's kind of what led me in this direction. So this is like 103 or 104 inches long. The standard paddles are about 96 inches, and the reason for that is taller people just do much better with a longer paddle. And then because you can stand in this kayak, I was thinking, well, I'd like to be able to, you know, paddle while standing, even if it's just very slowly. Another thing with these are I guess they're nylon paddles, so they are a little bit different construction, very durable. They have the little line catch in one end of them somewhere here. Anyway, we'll get to that more when I get out on the water probably. But as you can see, it'll rest right down into that little strapped area right there. And then the kayak actually has these kind of resting areas molded right into the sides that the paddle will rest in. You can see that one. Kind of pull it over to this other side. You can see it right here. And the paddle will nicely rest down in there. This is just another way to store the paddle while you're on the water. You've got these bungees that kind of hook onto the inside, and it just lays off to the side. And those bungees are on both sides of the kayak. It does a really good job of keeping it up out of your way and off the deck. And to be straight up with you guys, I am very eager to get out onto the water with this thing. Probably another month or two, I have been, you know, thinking about this since last summer when I was, you know, doing a bunch of camping, and then it just kind of planted this seed in my head and it grew from there. So you know, I did the proper research. I know I have the right kayak for my needs, and you know, in the future, you know, with age and, you know, time going by, getting used to this one, if I, you know, decide to upgrade, then I can get a pedal drive going down the road, or you can even put the trolling motor on the back of this one. But yeah, until then, I've got a couple of more videos to make with the kayak. I've got a box full of accessories, stuff that's just gonna make it that much easier to use and that much better on the water. Like you can see how low that seat actually sits. Standing up from that point is not easy, especially for someone as my age with the knees that I have. But, you know, I've been watching Fishing with Therapy is a really good channel. He's got all the mods that he's done with his, and some really sensible stuff that I'm going to end up, you know, kind of copying, I guess. Another one was AR Kayak Fishing. His is like a little bit further. You know, he's got the drop front trolling motor and all this stuff. But it gives me plenty of ideas to make this much more suitable for my use. And yeah, this is a lot different content than I'm usually uploading onto this channel, but I just figured, well, the kayak is going to be definitely used a lot on the other channel, and to kind of outfit it and, you know, accessorize it on this one just kind of made sense to me. So if you like this video, thumbs up, subscribe, do all that stuff. See you next time.